I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Kamen Riders. I'm your host, Josh Make the Uber Geek, joined as always by my good friend Toby Tobes. How's it going, Toby?
Hello, Josh. It's going well.
I'm glad to hear it. We're here to talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 35, but what's new in the life of Toby before that?
I don't know. See, I was trying to think of the good break-in as I try to do, because every time I think I'm going to say something different, I usually just say hello, Josh, or hello, Joshua, and I panic.
Let's break it down for the people. So when you and I have podcasted before, there usually is like a good point where you can jump in with nonsense, but sometimes on this one I need to give a little bit more info. So I feel like I mess up your run in a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, you're out of control.
I am, yeah, because sometimes I want to intro you, but then I also want to say and then this is what we're talking about. We're gonna get there in like 15 minutes, but this is what we're talking about. So yeah, we got to figure out that rhythm.
We do, but so here's a question for you, or it's really more of a pondering.
I love ponderings.
Asparagus pea smell, comma, yes. Why?
I don't know, but it is intense and it is unwavering. Anytime I look at asparagus, I feel like my pee smells for like 3 days.
So apparently it's like 8 out of 10 people or 9 out of 10 people have this problem.
Okay. And
I just want to know how it happens so fast, really. Like, I can have it for dinner at like 7:55, and by 8 o'clock, the stink just comes.
Yeah,
I don't know how your body breaks it down so fast. That seems crazy.
Either. Yeah. In a very similar vein, and also I guess not similar in some ways. So you know how when you drink coffee, it makes you have to poop?
Yeah, it helps. It's a diuretic, as the people say.
So apparently, it happens so quickly that I guess scientists don't really understand exactly why this happens, but there's something also neurological happening, because it forces the poop response so quickly that it isn't it's so fast it couldn't be just biological, like the regular diuretic response.
That's amazing.
There's something else there that is acting upon your brain, and we don't know why.
We're learning a lot today about food and things.
And poop.
Food in the body.
Food and poop, yeah. food and poopy and pee-pee, as my daughter would say.
Are you one of the people that think cilantro tastes like soap?
No, we've talked about that before. It might have been offline, but I am not one of those people. I kind of want to be, though. It'd be cool if I was.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin things like that. That seems wacky.
But how much value does cilantro add to your life right now?
Do you ever eat a thing called salsa?
Yeah, but is it in every salsa? It's not, right? It's only in some salsas.
I feel like it's in most. It's there. It's always there. But I don't know. I don't have the problem. It just seems crazy to me that it could be in a random food. It could be in a bowl of soup. So you'd be having a nice night out, going to eat. Take a nice little spoonful of dinner, and you're like, why does this taste like soap? And if you're at a restaurant, then you're gonna be the person that's like, my bowl was overwashed or not cleaned properly. It tastes like soap. And they're gonna be like, oh no, sir, it has cilantro. And you're like a freaking idiot.
Yeah. Oh, you're just one of those cilantro freaks, is what the waiter would say.
One of those weirdos.
Tom, no. Was that his name, Tom?
It was. I thought it was saffron.
The saffron tastes like soap, Tom. No, listen, first of all, I'm never going to be someone who tells the waiter that my bowl tastes like soap. I'm just going to continue eating it and hate my life. And I'm never going to say a word about it. When the waiter comes back and says, how is everything? I'm going to say, it's great. Thanks. And then I'm going to leave a bigger tip than normal because I didn't enjoy the food and I feel guilty about having lied about it. That's what I do.
So you're overcompensating as hard as humanly possible.
Absolutely. Yes. 100%. But I feel like cilantro adds so little to my life and is so easily avoidable. And maybe I'm missing it in dishes. Maybe it's in way more dishes than I realize, and I'm just not realizing it. But in my head, it feels very avoidable. And the added benefit of whenever this comes up, when people says, "Oh, did you know some people like cilantro tastes like soap?" I would get to be, I'm one of those people, motherfucker. That sounds great. I want that in my life. That's all. Toby, I just want to be special. That's what I'm saying.
You are, buddy. You are.
Thanks.
Looking at like a food recipe list or whatever we want to call it, properly created dishes with cilantro. It's all fancy stuff. So I think realistically,
I don't need fancy shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like cilantro also like comes in the form of like garnish on things, or like you're putting it on the top of your soup. Like, just take it out. It's fine.
It's a little sprinkle.
Just
a little pizzazz for your mouth.
I don't need any mouth pizzazz. That's what I have ketchup for. Ketchup is my mouth pizzazz.
What a heathen.
No, I'm an evolved species now. That's what I have Chick-fil-A sauce for.
Ew. The Polynesian, whatever it is, right? Or is it different?
No. That's they're like main one, whatever that one is actually. It's just called Chick-fil-A sauce. Then they have a separate one that's like
do you go to the store and just like take some and then like sneak it home when you go?
No, you can buy it in like Walmart now. You
can also go to the store and get it. You can go to the restaurant and get it for free.
Yeah,
I'm calling Chick-fil-A a restaurant in this scenario, even though it's not.
It's a fast food restaurant. I think it counts as a restaurant. No, they've caught on to that now. I think they'll still give you some, of course. But like if you ask for too many, they then I think now try to sell you like a bottle. Like they'll sell you like a little bottle of it now to take home with you.
That's rude. That's the one thing Taco Bell is good for. You steal that sauce every time you go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and Chick-fil-A, like at least their packets are big and generous. It's like the big ones instead of the little like tiny ones where you rip the corner off. So that's at least good.
There you go. I even found the Taco Bell sauce bottled the other day. And in spite of that, the last time I went to Taco Bell, I still took packets.
Nice. Took a whole handful. Taco Bell's now, I guess this is kind of like all fast food places, or at least like McDonald's and Taco Bell. They're just the Wild West now because they don't even have people working in them anymore. Like they're all in the back, and you go in a Taco Bell, you're just like placing your order on a machine. You don't see another human soul in the building. Like you could steal anything you want in there. No one cares. They're just going to bring your food out, drop it on a little shelf, and then leave again. So anything could be going on in that lobby. You could be stuffing your cargo jeans with all the sauce in the world.
The past few times I went to the Bell, there was actually someone dared to order food from the cashier versus just using the big tablet.
Oh, okay.
And the cashier even actually like made a face where they were like, we could see the irritation of like, holy shit, I actually have to like use the cash register.
That's amazing. So yeah, I think that the Taco Bell near me, and for sure the McDonald's near me, they don't even have people manning the registers anymore. Like most of the time,
they just flat out refuse.
Yeah, like the last time I was in the Taco Bell, every employee was in the back, and the only time they would like show up around the front is when they were like delivering a food item to someone. Like they would walk around the corner holding a bag or a cup and would say like Tim, and then Tim would come get his food, and then they'd disappear again until the next time food was ready. And the only way to order was through the little menu things. So yeah, no one at the cashier. McDonald's was the same way. Like no one appears in the entire building until food's ready, and then someone like pops up. There was a lady standing trying to like tell them that her order was wrong for like the longest time, and like no one showed up until someone else's food was ready and she was able to catch them. That was great. so yeah, like old people walk in and they're just completely lost. They have no idea what's going on, how they get food. They just stand up at the front and look lost. You have to tell them like, no, you order on these computers now.
Well, it's like the other day I went to like the minor league stadium that's in my area, or there, whatever you want to call it. To pay for parking, you literally can't use cash anymore. Like the sign says it's either credit card, Google Pay, or Apple Pay.
Uh-huh.
And it's crazy to me because like people of all ages go to baseball games, and like if my grandmother had the options of GPay, Apple Pay, or a credit card, I don't know if she'd have any of the three of those. And like, what do they do at that point?
She'd be like, "I have these singles. Will you take my dollar bills, please?"
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I know it kind of speeds things up, even though you have to freaking like run your credit card and shit. But like it seems like the technology obsolescence that they're working on here is actually like super unbeneficial sometimes for actually like truly no reason. Like I think it's still like a post-COVID correction, but it seems irritating. Like, what if I take a credit card? Well, if I only had cash and no phone?
I think some of it is a post-COVID correction. Like we definitely lost things during COVID that we'll never get back, which is annoying. Like the people that take your order at fast food places, physical menus at places are mostly gone, and I don't think are ever coming back. Which is a silly like COVID thing. But I wonder if the baseball parking thing isn't like theft as well. Like they don't want the parking attendants just to have like piles of cash because then they get robbed. I wonder if that's a thought.
That actually kind of makes more sense because like especially for like the local stuff, I'm pretty sure. I feel like they're volunteers. I don't think they're volunteers, but like it's that vibe.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like older people working there, and like they're usually the ones who are outside doing the parking lot.
Yeah. So at some point, like those people are probably scared of having that much money on hand, I would guess.
Yeah, like the old gentlemanly guy that cashed me out or credit carded me, whatever. Like he was probably in like late 60s, early 70s, and I'm sure if like someone was like, "I'm not going to give you $20, but you're going to give me 1,000," like I don't know if he could handle it well. So that probably actually does make sense then. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like other than that, yeah, it is a really, we have progressed towards a cashless world incredibly quickly, and I'm mostly okay with that as a concept because I generally don't want to carry cash. But it is a weird concept of like there's so many places that just like I feel like would be completely lost if you just like tried to pay them in like quarters or something. It's like, wait, what?
Well, even like there's
you swipe your card right here.
Even times I go to like the farmer's market sometimes, like I feel now more than ever, like the basic math knowledge is slipping because people are so used to like machines telling them numbers.
Yeah.
Where like there's at least been like there's at least one distinct time I can think of, if not more, where like they put it like the kids, whoever type in like the wrong amount, like he gave them a 20, they accidentally typed in 25, and you can see their eyes glaze over when they're like, how do I fix this? So like I've always loved numbers and math and that kind of, I mean that's just basic and easy. So I'd be like, oh no, it's just this, and they just look at me and I'm like, I promise you it's this, and it's like always smile like, oh thank you so much, okay, sounds good, thank you. And it's like, all right, I did 6th grade stuff. I appreciate you, I guess.
Yeah, I've always been one. I don't know. Like I literally have a minor in mathematics. Like I have a degree in mathematics, and I'm a have a computer science graduate degree. Like I'm in the field of like math and tangential to math. I've always been so terrible at like mental math, and especially when it's mental math on the spot. Like if someone is waiting for me to come up with an answer, like, and it's like something that's like semi hard, but not really, where it's like maybe like breaking a bill and also making change at the same time or something like that. Like I freeze. I can't do it. Like I could talk you through complicated math concepts, but I can't figure out what like 20 minus 17 is. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So I get that to some extent. I have math performance anxiety.
What a mess.
I am a mess. That's very true. It's very true. That's why I would never tell the waiter that my bowl tasted like soup. or not soup. It was soap. My bowl's supposed to taste like soup. Toby, let's talk about Kamen Rider, shall we?
Let's do it.
We are watching and reviewing now Kamen Rider Geats episode 35 this week, and this was for me a weird episode. It was very slapstick. I want to put that off right at the beginning.
Only because of one person, mainly to me.
Yes,
I feel like memed it up. They did the worst thing they could.
It was absolutely Keiwa's fault. He was full in meme mode. So I will point those things out as we get to those moments, because that was in my mind, thinking back now to watching this episode, that was a real, I was gonna say highlight. That was a real like low light of the episode. It's all of the
It was a reverse highlight.
Exactly. Anyway, the episode opens and I'm loving this relationship, Toby. Neon and Sarah are like becoming the best of allies, the best of friends.
The true
They
best buds.
they are. They're having coffee when this opens up. Neon is kind of briefing Sarah on all the other writers, and she has this basically like hand colored notebook that she's given her to tell her who everyone is. It's great.
There's like the little diagrams and bars and charts and
Yeah. And I'm assuming it means that Neon like drew all that. And like I'm looking at a screenshot of it right now, and it is full on like hand drawn, hand colored penciled. And she's like written out everybody's information. It's so good. I love that little detail. Like we have now our like veteran writer Neon who like knows everything, but she's still like making colored pencil dossiers of all the other people.
Here's the lore. Here's how it breaks down.
And then we find out really kind of like our big shocker, I guess, this episode is that despite the fact that Keiwa came to save Neon and Sarah last episode, Sarah was out of commission. When she came to, Keiwa was already like out of his writer outfit. So she doesn't know that Keiwa is a writer. She doesn't realize that he's been looped into the games. She thinks he's still not involved, and she thinks basically she's still kind of like, you know, protecting him from being a Kamen Rider.
If only she knew what he did in reverse.
Exactly. So yeah, then we get into some Keiwa stuff. So first of all, this is our first kind of slapstick moment. Keiwa is mad at Kekura about making his sister a Kamen Rider, which is reasonable. And like when he's about to yell at Kekura, he does this weird like lean back before he screams, like very anime, like wind up yell, which is like it was very akin to Sarah grabbing the cop from a couple weeks back or last week or whenever it was.
And they did the crazy like zoom in way too close on Keiwa's face.
Yep.
Zoom as well.
Exactly. Kekura points out like, oh, it's good having like, you know, allies in the game, and Keiwa does the thing where he says, you know, like, but you can't tell her, you can't let her know that I'm in the game, like, and I hate this in any media, in any movie, in any TV show, and this is I feel like a very common trope where, you know, like character 1 doesn't know that character 2 knows something, and character 2 knows it but doesn't want character 1 to know that they know, but the audience knows, and it's so clear that they're going to run around and hide behind each other's back for a while, and then eventually they're going to find out. It's going to be like either a big fight or like a little fight, and then they're going to make up, like it's so clear the path it's going to go down, and then we just have to like sit through all of the like the stupid like comedy routines when they're hiding each other. It's so like weird and tropey, and it's so obvious what is going to happen.
It's like the dumb rom-com thing where if they had a 30-second conversation, the third act would never happen because the problem would have been solved. But instead, someone always gets upset, overreacts too fast, runs away, and then rather than getting the truth and fixing the issue in 5 seconds, it's another 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the source of the like, I took 2 girls on a date at this restaurant, you know, at the same time type thing of just like it's a dumb scenario. You understand where the ending's going to be, and like you have to be really in it for all of the like physical comedy. Otherwise it's just not, there's nothing for you. And that's why I feel like we're here with Sarah and with Keiwa, and that's kind of a bummer. I hope this resolves quickly and we can get on with like them just being allies, because this whole hiding each other thing is very dumb for me.
It is very dumb. I agree.
We do find out, you and I talked about last time, Toby, basically the concept of like, are they still going to do games, or is this just kill each other and there are no rules? Turns out they are still going to do kind of rounds of the Desire Royale. And this current round, the kind of game that they're doing is retrieving ID cores. So the explanation basically is that like Giamato had hidden ID cores around the area, and whoever finds the most gets to essentially eliminate someone from the game.
The winner picks the loser.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because the explanation too is like, this is to account for people who would otherwise like dominate to the point of being called cheating. It was like, oh, it's to get Ace out of the game. Got it. Or Buffa. It's to get the good guys out
only
of the game.
because they showed Buffa during that comment. I assumed it was to refer to the fact that he can just crush the cores.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So I think it's more so like he can't cheat and just destroy all the cores that people find. It's more that he actually has to like let the quote unquote Kamen Riders live for the time being.
Yeah, maybe it could be. But yeah, I found it. I'm surprised that there's still like a gimmick aside from just kill each other, because I for sure thought it was just going to be slowly kill each other.
I guess it's too early to start getting rid of the characters permanently again. So well, I guess they have to do the
maybe, but we also we got rid of Daiichi in this round too. So like it's coming. Like we are going to start eliminating people, I guess. But there are also fewer writers than I realized that there were, I guess. Like it's pretty much just the people that we know.
As always.
I mean, for sure, of course it is. But I thought there would be like more filler writers involved in the game. That seemed to kind of be sort of the insinuation before. And no, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's literally just the core group for sure. But we next up, we get a little scene with Gene and Ace. It'll be interesting to see if anything comes of this, other than just handing over the laser raise riser, which I think is probably all it was. But Gene basically is like, I guess in summation, he's like not happy with what Ace is doing, like trying to get rid of the DGP, but he's still Ace's supporter, so he'll still support him. Is kind of what it is.
Well, yeah, because Ace's whole thing is basically like, I'm so over this. All I really care about is my mom now.
Yeah.
So he's flat out choosing like, he doesn't care if the game ends. He's just like, I'm going to save mom. That's it.
Yeah, and Gene's like, but I like this TV show. I'm not ready for it to end. Then Toby, we get the ultimate slapstick moment. Neon and Sarah go out hunting for ID cores, and behind them in the woods is Kawa. He is in like super camo mode. He has like a branch on his head. He's like
rubbed on his face. He's going wilderness man. In the first of many horrible slapstickings of the episode.
When they first showed him, like you see like Sarah and Neon in the foreground, and in the background you see kind of a tree. And the way they frame the shot, it's clear that like something's going to happen back there. And you look at it close, and you're like, that's the outline of a person. And then he moves, like, oh God, it's Kawa. Oh no. Just ridiculous. Very, very quickly, of course, too, Buffa shows up. He's ready to eliminate Neon and Sarah. Kawa is like, oh my God, I have to help, but what can I do? He pulls out, Toby, an invisibility cloak.
He's now Harry Potter.
If this idiot had an invisibility cloak this whole time, why was he not using it? Why did he have to put dirt on his face and a leaf on his head? Just use your invisibility cloak.
Because then we wouldn't know he was there.
I don't get it. I don't get why he has an invisibility cloak. I know he's a ninja. I get that whole thing that he's got his little ninja thing on, but like it's never come up before, and now suddenly he needs to hide from Buffa, and he has a perfect, like impenetrable invisibility cloak. but he can like stick his leg out and trip Buffa, and then Buffa like looks over and doesn't see him. It's like just insane.
And all this fight was taking place in the blown up old Giamato garden. They got warped back to that area for some reason.
Right. Yeah. Because that's where they were like finding the ID cores. Because it's like the ID cores that Giamato had and stashed and stuff. And I'm assuming in some cases like that got blown away a little bit when all that got blown up. They maybe got blown different places or something.
Yeah, they might have had some. They're wandering the woods because they're nice little plant boys, and then they all got melted.
We also surprisingly see some Giamato in this game. I think Daiichi is fighting them at some point, and he kind of makes a comment like, "Oh, I guess there's some like straggler Giamato left over." I was like, "This is weird." Yeah, it's strange.
It's like a weed.
Yeah, they were just here this whole time. We didn't know. I like the idea that just like roaming the world out in the forest are just these like crazy monsters. Like, oh yeah, there were a few of them out there. No big deal.
And part of
Then
the part of the Buffa fight too.
yeah,
After the big trip, Shit Cat finally gets to like get an attack in, and she feels all special because like when Buffa was down, she did her little claw strike, and she was like, "Oh my god, I hit him! I'm becoming a Kamen Rider!" And she got all excited.
that was adorable. Like I hit him. I think right after that was when Neon goes, "Now is our chance to run." Like we leave now.
Good job. It's time to go.
Yeah, she's slowly learning though. She's figuring it out. We got to get her a better buckle though. She's stuck on that like default, like just entered the game like free to play stuff. We got to get her something good.
She needs to get in the loot boxes if they still drop them at this point.
Yeah, like I don't think there's any like special stuff coming out because everybody who's in the game have their buckles from before. Like Neon's got her beat buckle. Like everybody's got like their buckle. KY's got his ninja buckle. Buffa's got his crazy stuff. But it doesn't seem like there's like any new ones that they're giving out. So I guess Sarah's just screwed.
Yeah, they're done with the toys now. So she's rolling with what she can do.
And that is exactly it. you hit the nail on the head. There are no more toys coming out, so we don't have to worry about any more gimmicks, I guess. Which is very funny. Then of course Daiichi's gonna Daiichi. He meets with Neon and Sarah in the green room, and basically he offers up a truce. He wants to give them the ID cores that he's found, which is quite a lot, and he wants to like be on their side because they are also pro DGP. And as long as they vote out Buffa, he'll let them win, give them the ID cores, let them win, because he wants Buffa eliminated.
So as the episode goes on, shit goes remotely bad before it gets better. And I just don't know why they would trust Pidgey. Like of all people, like obviously Sarah doesn't necessarily know any better other than like Pidgey attacking her. But like Neon was around for the whole when she was the Zastar.
Yep.
She knows Pidgey lied then. Like Pidgey was friends with Baroba for quite some time, might possibly still be. And it's like I don't know why they would trust him of all people.
I will say, so also in the scene is where we get the Sarah's air quotes supporter shows up, which is a Tanuki statue, but it's actually Keiwa hidden behind the couch, telling Sarah to maybe not trust Daiichi.
He's throwing his voice from the statue.
Yeah, statue's name I think was like Panchihi, but which is hilarious in and of itself. But yeah, like as far as trusting Daiichi goes, like I think that they did a good job of making him seem very convincing in this moment. Because like obviously everyone knows to instantly distrust him. But all he's doing, basically saying like, here, these are the objectives for the game, take all of mine. Like you can have them. He's not currently asking for anything in return. And all he's saying is like, you already want to vote out Buffa? Like, yes, do that. And take all these things.
Here's a bonus 15 points to vote out Buffa.
Exactly. So like it at that point in this particular moment in this particular scene, they don't really have to do anything to trust him, and they just get bonus from it. So like I get that makes perfect sense, and he even does a good job of explaining of like, oh yeah, like I was hard on you at first. I'm sorry I was so rough. Didn't realize you were pro DGP. Like you shouldn't trust me. I sometimes side with the Giamato when it's the best for me. But like, I'll be upfront. You take all these. Like you can be the one who wins. But yeah, like there's no input basically. At this point, Neon and Sarah don't have any skin in the game. Where they mess up is the next day where they listen to what Daiichi says about where to go to hunt down the ID cores. That's when they should have known to not do that. But yeah, at least in this particular moment, I probably would have done the same with them. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll take these. I'm not gonna go anywhere with you or anything, but here we are. I'll take these things. This also continues a funny theme of like everyone knows Keiwa is there except for Sarah.
Yeah, because like he's behind those couches are low as hell, and he's just like half-ass hiding himself, and even like Daiichi like smirks, and for whatever reason stays quiet. As we learn later, it's because he's obviously playing his own game, but he's just like, oh, hey idiot, all right, yeah, see ya.
like yeah, okay, well, your secret's safe with me, I guess, because you're a freaking weirdo hiding behind this couch. And then we get a cool scene. I loved this little scene. We get to see Buffa in his little hideout, I guess, which is like some warehouse or something.
Almost looks like a jail.
It does, yeah. He's got like a little couch there, and Ace shows up, and in classic Kamen Rider Geats bonding episode moment, they hand over some gas station food. I feel like this is what every character always does when they want to have a moment with another character.
You threw him the rice ball.
Exactly. Here's a rice ball. Let's have a heart to heart. And basically, Ace and Buffa realize that their goals are aligned. They're kind of on the same side for once, because they both want the DGP to end, which is an unholy alliance. I'm here for it.
It's the best alliance. The two most powerful people in the world working together.
Pretty much, yeah. Sumi and the DGP creator Suero are arguing at this point. Basically, Sumi's like, I can't believe the Riders are fighting. It upsets me. And he's like, your opinion's irrelevant. Basically, his whole thing is like, listen, this entire world exists for my performance. I'm going to use it up and throw it away. And then she's like, but why would you want the Riders to fight each other? And his answer is that we no longer need to feed the circus animals, because as soon as this world is done, it'll be our presence will be erased, and no one will recall that we were here. So pretty harsh from the DGP creator for sure.
They've been leaning into this world is gone at the end of this for many weeks now. So obviously, I'm pretty sure that at the end of this, the world will not be gone, because they keep hammering it home. So obviously, someone good, hopefully good, will prevail. But like, they've been like dramatically hammering home, like, everyone's gonna forget everything. Don't worry about it. You can forget Neon's dad. You can forget your kid. This one's we're done with the animals. We're just gonna throw them out now. Send them to the pound. Who the hell cares?
Yep. Yeah.
Big on the world wipe.
Yeah. They've been like, the producer even was preaching that, and Neon's dad was saying, you can't leave this world. You can't leave this world. She hasn't won yet. Yeah. So it's been a thing. It's definitely been a thing. We see a couple people walk in to talk to Sumi after this is over. We wink wink, don't know who they are yet, even though it's pretty clear from their legs who they are. But we'll get back to that in a second. We also, of course, when Daiichi kind of turned on Neon and Sarah, we kind of skipped over that scene a little bit, but Daiichi calls Buffa, and essentially, like, he tells Buffa where Sarah and Neon are going to be. So he is attempting to get Buffa to go eliminate Sarah and Neon by telling Buffa that they'll be at the river. Instead, however, Buffa decides, well, no, I'm going to go take Daiichi out.
He's
which
a real
is awesome. Yeah, Daiichi got what he deserved again, which I love, because, God, this guy's the worst. So yeah, that was a nice little fight. Buffa shows up, basically says like, oh, it seems like it was you who got deceived. They have a little fight, and eventually Buffa ends up defeating Daiichi. So he gets a little blue fade and is no longer around.
So there's an important part of this, Josh. The fable of the cut-tongue sparrow, or the tongue-cut sparrow.
Yeah, it comes up twice. Like, Ace mentions it, and then Buffa mentions it as well.
It's also, Josh, known as Shirakiri Suzumi.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a little story.
Okay.
Once upon a time, there lived a poor old woodcutter with his wife, who earned her living by cutting wood and fishing. The old man was honest and kind, but his wife was arrogant and greedy. One morning, the old man went into the mountains to cut timber and saw an injured sparrow crying out for help. Feeling sorry for the bird, the man took it back to his home and fed it some rice to try to help it recover. His wife, being very greedy and rude, was annoyed that he would waste precious food on such a small and insignificant little thing such as a sparrow. The old man, however, Josh, continued caring for the bird. The man had to return to the mountains one day and left the bird in the care of the old woman, who had no intentions of feeding it. After her husband left, she went out fishing. While she was gone, the sparrow got into some starch that was left out and eventually ate all of it. The old woman was so angry upon her return that she cut out the bird's tongue and sent it flying back into the mountains from where it came. The old man went searching for the bird, and with the help of other sparrows, found his way into a bamboo grove in which the sparrow's inn was located. A multitude of sparrows greeted him and led him to his friend, the little sparrow he saved. The others brought him food and sang and danced for him. Upon his departure, they presented him with a choice of a large basket or a small basket as a present. Being an older man, he chose the small basket as he supposed it would be the least heavy. When he arrived home, he opened the basket and discovered a large amount of treasure inside. The wife, learning of the existence of the larger basket, ran to the sparrow's inn in hopes of getting more treasure for herself. She chose the larger basket, but was warned not to open it before getting home. Such was her greed that the wife could not resist opening the basket before she returned to the house. To her surprise, the box was full of deadly snakes and other monsters.
Yeah.
They startled her so much that she tumbled all the way down the mountain, presumably to her death.
The end?
The end.
Okay. That's like a double lesson kind of in there, because it's like, don't be mean to sparrows, and then also like pick the small treasure, I guess.
So the two morals that we're supposed to take away from this story is the purity of friendship overcomes the evil of greed and jealousy.
Okay.
And greed only leads to one's own demise.
Yep. That definitely is true of our sparrow friend there for sure. He got
obviously
too greedy.
I just wanted to throw that in there. They were like, this is a perfect opportunity to drop some lore.
I loved it. It was very cool. I can't remember Buffett's exact words. Let's see if I can scrub through and find him real fast. But he's like, he says like, I think he uses the word like duplicitous or something for it before they fight. Here we go. They wish for their ideals. They want to be happy. Everyone ends up unhappy. I think this is where he maybe says it. No, this is where they're just going to hench in. Anyway, at some point, I think Buffa is like, he has like a real sick line about a duplicitous something or other.
Freaking dirtbag Pidgey finally got his.
How ironic that it's time the sparrow will suffer. How about I cut that duplicitous tongue of yours? There it is. So Buffa playing the role of the evil wife. I like how just like unapologetically evil that woman was in that story too. There's no reason to be. Like,
that's how they always are. The only way you're hammering home the morality is usually like it's always just extremes. So you learn extremes are bad.
There's gotta be. So this really cool dude was married to this bitch.
Did you try to kill some birds?
So while Buffa and Daichi are having their fight, of course, as we were saying, Ace is talking to Neon and Sarah, and Ace brings up the little fable there, basically to kind of lecture them about not trusting people. Then of course they flip it on him, as they always do, of like, well, like, why aren't you attacking us? Like, if you're not trusting people, you should be taking us out. And he says that his enemy is the DGP staff, not them. And then he walks up to kind of where Keiwa is hidden. He said, and also not a certain someone. So even Ace knows that Keiwa is hiding there. And Keiwa is like, I will always protect my sister. It's like, okay, buddy, you could also go tell her that you're here, because everyone else knows. Then, of course, after the Daichi fight, we get reintroduced to Archimeedle, the gardener, shows back up.
He's back.
He seems like he's going to insert himself into the games in some way. He says that he still has an ideal world to achieve, which obviously is, I think, one filled with Giamato, obviously.
He just wants he wants his plant babies to be happy.
He does. Baroba seemed very happy to see him, like very happy about the idea that there's a wrench thrown into the game.
All she wants at this point.
Yep. And then, of course, we get to see who showed up to talk to Sumi, and it was none other than the producer and Punk Jack come back to life.
So everyone's coming back out of nowhere, as always.
Yep. They explain that the I guess DGP creator had brought them back from the dead. I guess it's dead. Had brought them back, and
wherever they go.
Back here. Punk Jack back just in time for his special.
That's what I was thinking
corporate synergy. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too. Out of nowhere, he just smugly walks back in. He's like, "Let's rock and roll. Here's my theme song."
It also feels like, hey, we had to bring you back so we could film this other show. You might as well go over here on this other set for a little bit too.
swing by lot 4 while you're here, and just go say hi.
Yeah,
Jump in a scene and come back.
Yeah, jump in a scene a little bit. Just say like, hey, watch my special on the website. Go check it out.
Hey, I'm Punk Jack. Don't forget.
Remember me? I'm Punk Jack. We did have the little hint that Punk Jack was maybe going to be there. We talked about it in the email section last week of, his ID core was showing up on screen, and here it is. Everything happens for a reason in Kamen Rider Geats.
Damn right. It's almost like it's a well scripted plot.
Almost. But yeah, I think for me overall, kind of a weird episode, like we were talking about. Like I'm not here for the weird hiding Kawa stuff. It's just I hope that gets resolved quickly. That's not my cup of tea in fiction, and really not too much advanced as far as plot wise goes. Like Daiichi is gone again, but he also, I don't know, he sucked a lot, so it doesn't feel like a big loss. Like it's not like a huge like, oh my god, I can't believe he's gone. It's just more like, okay, yeah, he's gone. That makes sense.
I'm glad he's dead. I hope he doesn't come back.
Me too. Yeah, I don't want him back.
I feel like he's going to, because like when Buffa was murdering him, he made a real weird Joker looking smile and was like kind of almost seemed thrilled to get eliminated. So I feel like he's definitely coming back for like some finale thing.
Probably, yeah.
So we'll see.
I think the reemergence of the gardener also means that like anybody who gets eliminated is potentially coming back as a weird like Giamato version of themselves too.
Well, especially with like the cracked cores. Like we know that they're, because he makes the fertilizer joke about someone else. I don't think it was Daiichi's core, but I don't remember. So obviously we know like he can always take Daiichi's broken core and come back.
Absolutely.
And then it still seems like, I can't tell. It still seems like Kawa's sponsor is more Team Baroba than Team Kawa. But
yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to figure him out. Like, he definitely is hanging out with Baroba a lot. He said at some point like, "Oh, this wasn't my plan," but like, yeah, it seems like he's maybe on Baroba's side. They're also, I think, let me double check that. Oh, the core that Archimedo picks up is Daiichi's, by the way.
Okay, yeah, so he's definitely coming back as Rook or Bishop or King or Queen or Knight or one of them.
Ugh, that sucks. We're gonna get more of that moron.
They never die, man. They never die.
The very end of this episode, I think. Maybe not. Did I see that somewhere else? The last thing about Kakura is that he says we can use him in reference to the gardener. So yeah, there's some nonsense going on around here. But I am excited about Punk Jack coming back.
Now that I know he's a rock star, I do feel better about his position on the show here.
Oh, that he's a legit rock star, like he actually is in a band.
Yeah, like he's doing cool guy things. So maybe he's a little bit better.
Just means he's not acting. He's just being himself now.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Oh yeah. So next time it looks like preparations once again are continuing for their leaving of this world, Toby. It's been going on for a long time. We're leaving. This world's no more. We're resetting things. We're getting out of here.
And this is usually like, this episode is like the calm warm up. It's like next episode's crazy fun time. Because I feel like usually the way it happens now is like there's a slower one just to like set up for like the next punch and then go back and forth at this point. So I feel like we're right there.
Yeah, I think totally that this felt like that type of episode for sure. Like, not that things didn't happen, not that there wasn't advancement, but it definitely felt the like a little bit slower before just everything hits the fan. Because we are building now to a giant like Buffa Ace team up, go crazy mode, which is going to be cool. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff happening in the next couple episodes. But anywho, that is going to do it for us for this particular episode. Of course, if you'd like to send us an email, send those over to cast@kamenridersucks.com. You can also please subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcasting app, or you can subscribe to the Pretty Decent YouTube channel. You can go to kamenridersucks.com. That'll take you straight to the playlist of all of our episodes. You can watch all of our back episodes there. And let's see, you can subscribe to our Patreon as well. We would love to have you. We produce bonus content weekly over there on the Patreon. We're doing a watch along right now of Kamen Rider Black Sun, which is super fun. And yeah, we're probably going to get into some more Kamen Rider after that. Maybe eventually check out the Punk Jack special when that comes out. All kinds of fun stuff.
Ooh, Punk Jack special.
And you can, of course, join our Discord community through the Patreon there as well, where we are talking tokusatsu and video games and all kinds of stuff all week long. Toby, where can the people find you when we're not recording our episodes here?
On Twitter, it's at Life of Tobes, and on YouTube, it's Tobes Plays.
Right on. You guys can find me on Twitter and Tumblr at Pretty Decent Josh in both places. So once again, we'll be back next week for episode 36. And until then, have a great week, everybody. Peace.
I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a